Alright, what's poppin', gods and goddesses? Back in with another video. So today's video I want to talk about what I've learned in 2020. Okay, so there was crazy year. That was crazy year. People are like, thank God 2020 is over. Like, to me, I had a great reality. I had a great year. Like I'm saying, like 2020 was one of my greatest years of growth, honestly, like of just leveling up and being like my character really did evolve, like a lot. Like the most, like the amount of character development I've had in 2020 was through the roof. And that could be a lot of people, a lot of things that were going on right now, but I really did change a lot. But I want to talk about what I've learned, okay? What I've learned. And there was two things I learned, okay? Two things I learned. And one of those things was the meaning and the way you view your reality, your life, okay? So there was a lot of things that were being put out there on the media, like a lot of fear-based things. Like a lot of shit was going down in 2020. A lot of bad shit, a lot of like low vibrational stuff was being put out there, right? And to some people that really did like attack their minds, their basically their souls, their whole, like, people were really at a low vibration because of the way they let this energy from the world consume them. And I was aware of this back in 2019 that this was coming. Like, there was a YouTuber that was just talking about all this like woke shit, right? But this was I knew this was coming, man. I knew this was coming in 2020. I was warned ahead of time, right? And that's when my awakening was taking place, right? It happened in 2020 eventually. The spiritual awakening happened around like April or March. But around like those times, man, like the way I was viewing my reality really helped me a lot. And I was thinking in my head, on the inside of me, really being positive, being loving, being grateful, and just being the best version I could possibly be. Like, positive. Basically, it came down to positivity, man. I let my inside was pretty much completely full of positivity. I listened to frequencies every day. Every night before I went to bed, I'd fall asleep 8 hours listening to a frequency in my brain. My brain was not on the level it should have been, like normal. I guess that was the normal people, right? With people that were pretty much like really fearful of like this crisis going on, right? To me, I wasn't scared. I'm not scared of death. I'm not scared of anything, right? And that sounds ego right there, but like I'm just stating what it is, man. Like I've learned to let go of like low vibrational feelings, like fear, hate, all these things. I learned about that, right? Because I knew that if I have these things with me, attached to me, then it's going to create a negative reality to me, right? And this is what was being put out there on the media. And I saw that, I was aware of that, and I didn't let that consume me. I changed my meaning of life. I did. I changed it. I always thought positive. So if there was a negative thing that happened, like a bad chapter that came my way, like I lost a lot of friends this year because I decided to go have an awakening and I decided to be spiritual. I didn't choose it. Like, the Most High did, right? But that's what it is, man. They were judging a book by its cover, the way I look at it. But do I let their energies like consume me? No. I changed the meaning of it and made kind of play with my ego here, kind of. Like, another thing I learned, like, the ego is like a really friendly thing you can use, right? But don't be the ego. Let the ego talk to you, right? Motivate you. Let your ego motivate you, kind of. But don't be the ego, you know? But there was like I let my ego tell me pretty much, hey man, you're at a higher vibration than them. Your growth is way higher than theirs this year. It's time to move on. That, I guess you could say that may be ego. I'm not quite sure. But that's the way I looked at it, right? And the way I changed that meaning, eventually, like, I didn't care. Like, I moved on and I started doing good for myself and better for myself. Those people were holding me back into a certain cycle that I didn't want to be in, and that's pretty much what happened. But the way I viewed and the way I gave the meaning of this reality is what I've learned. So if you're going to be positive throughout your life, positive things are going to happen to you. If you're going to be negative your entire life, then your reality will be completely negative and you'll be at a low vibration too, right? But you'll only attract negative things. And that's what it is, man. Life is pretty much what you look at it as. Like that's like as real as I can put it to you. Right? And that's what I've learned. So if I'm gonna be positive on the inside, then nothing will bad happen in this reality. Nothing will. There will be bad chapters, obviously, but you gotta change the meaning of these chapters. Right? The meaning of what you've learned, right? What lessons have you learned from this bad chapter? And that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. That's one thing I've learned is the meaning you give your life and the way you view it as. And I didn't want to, like, to me, I didn't want to expand on negative thoughts. I had no interest in negativity. Zero interest in negativity. I did not want negativity to consume me at all. Nothing. No negativity. No negative vibes for me. Nuh-uh. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted this life, this reality. And that's what I'm going to keep on doing in 2021 and probably my whole entire life. That's the way I did it, right? And there was another thing I learned. There was a lot of things that were taken away from us this year, but there was also little things that we still had. And it's another thing I learned. It was gratitude, being grateful for what I have in this life right now, man. And that's a big thing because in 2019, man, I was I'm trying to be nice to myself, but I'm gonna be hard on myself. I was a ungrateful, spoiled prick. Like that's how I can say it, man. I was a piece of shit. Like in 2019, before I had my awakening, like I was an asshole. And this awakening really did help me a lot and benefited me to like my growth, man. My growth is through the level. It's through the level, man. Like I've grown so much this year, and I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for that. But like being grateful for little things too, man. That's the other thing I learned. Like having the family still with you, right? Even though that's not taken away from you, you could still be grateful for little things, right? Having a phone, having a home over your head, having a place to eat, like having a place to stay, eating, like we have food still, right? Hell, we have life still. We still live here in this reality, right? The world's not completely ended, right? The world can't get completely end. The world without end, man. There's no, like, there's so many little things you can be grateful for, man. Like, so many things. And that's the thing that I've learned, man, was the way we look at our lives, the way we give the meaning, the viewing, and gratitude. Gratitude is another thing, like a big thing that I learned, man. I wasn't a grateful person back in 2019, but I have it all, man. Like compared to some people in other countries or even in this country or other, like another country, like some people live on the streets. I have a home, I have a shelter, I have a bed that I can sleep in. I'm grateful for that. And being grateful is big thing that I learned this year, man. And it's a thing that you guys probably have learned. I think that's the biggest thing a lot of people learn this year too, is being grateful for little things. I think a lot of people learned to be grateful this year. So 2020 in a nutshell for me was awesome. I had a great year. 2020 was an awesome year for me because that was the first year I actually focused on myself. Really, like I mean it. Like I focused on myself for the first time in my life, probably in 2020. Before that, no, man, I was focused on other people and other people's realities, right? But that's not the case. I shouldn't be doing that. This is my life, my reality, my soul's in this body, and it's time to focus on this person right here, me, I. So that's what I've learned, man. That's what I've learned this year. Anyways, y'all take care. Have a good one, and bless up. I'll see y'all later. I hope you guys have a good 2021, man. I'm out.